This is Obal. I'm going to go over the Swampland Fractal as a warrior. And for the back ones, you want to jump over the walls and not rely on the path being open, because if it's not, and you do that, you'll probably fail. And you can jump up this wall if that path's not open either. Use bull charge to get to the stands quicker if you're running out of time, because you took too long doing this. For the middle one, you can run up this wall again, since it's closer than the other. You should use Signet of Rage to get swiftness for the duration of the run. You can shake it off if you get knocked down or crippled. You can use Mending if you're crippled as well. You can see here I jumped over this wall for this side. It's easier than the other side. And you can jump up the wall here in the middle if that's blocked off. And I'm not going to bother showing the rest because they're pretty easy to do. And for Boommonger, you want Axe Sword, Greatsword, and you start by stacking Might. He has a few attacks. He's pretty easy. He does his AoE when he shakes. You can see there that some of the projectiles don't get drawn with red circles if you stand in front of them, so you want to just kite behind them when you start to see the animation so you don't get instigated by nothing on the ground. And he does this animation, which is his entangle. It can do multiple hits depending on your location. So if you go to sword block it, you should back off a bit so you don't counter. Or you can use whirlwind or dodge. Again, he throws a poison bolt. You can whirlwind, dodge, sword block it. And for his AoE, you want to use whirlwind as a last resort, because it can end up putting you in a red circle at the very end of it and get you killed. It's an easy fight if your group has reflex. Nothing will harm you except for his AoE, which is the only thing you have to worry about if that's the case. Also, if you see Storm Spirit, you want to just throw your greatsword or axe at it, since retaliation is a pain. And Mossman is a bit harder than Casual Hunger. You can just start off by stacking Might where we did. Skelks won't bother you and he won't aggro. As soon as you go in, he will aggro though. And you want to have Axe Sword, Axe Warhorn. And his aggro is just completely crazy. He's got ADD now since the Fractal so-called revamp patch. You'll want to just figure out who has aggro of them and just have that person walk backwards in a straight line while trying to stay in max melee range so he doesn't auto attack the person, and everybody else can just follow behind him and train on him like we're doing right now. Just try to stay in max melee range and attack him while he's fixated on one person. You can see he just changed targets yet again. And as soon as he turns around, he'll be on you, auto-attacking or throwing an axe. It's really hard to dodge the axe because it's really quick, but we tried our best here to do it. And you can see I just did it there. Usually you'll have groups with reflex up, and hopefully the person leading them away will lead them around the reflex, which they should be doing. But you'll have Warhorn on to keep up swiftness to help your group max melee them easier, as well as Vigor for your group to give everybody another dodge. And you'll have your sword block. If you see the dot is near you when he goes invisible, you should just keep sword block up. And once he starts getting an aura around him, he'll start charging, and the next attack will be his axe cross attack, which is pretty much one shot. It hits 2 times, so an Aegis will only protect you against one of the hits. You can see he just did it there. It has a huge cone, so if you're not behind him and you're close to him, you want to dodge. And if anybody goes down, you want to rally off wolves. if there's only veteran wolves or there's no wolves at all, use your battle standard. And you'll want to keep throwing your axe at them as much as possible to keep them crippled. Chills are good too if your group has them. It makes it easier to max melee them. And if you have Guardian in your group, you should just send them off first to get aggro for a little bit of time. They could just face tank them there standing still with all the blocks that they have while everybody else stands behind them and does optimal DPS for a time. Time warp helps with that greatly too. Get a decent amount of his health off before he changes targets. And you just basically just want to keep up reflex and try to kite him around the reflex. And everybody else just attacks behind him, max meleeing him. You don't really need reflex either. You can see we did it without it just fine. And of course it wouldn't be a no ball video if things didn't go to shit at the end there. See, a bunch of us went down.